love emergency medicine. I love that you are on the front line. I love that you see all of the social determinants of health right in front of you. As an emergency physician, I am a total generalist, but then I also get to treat trauma and to be able to help patients on their worst day. For me, most of medicine I learned as a patient.
Are you ready? Time?
That first semester of medical school, I was diagnosed with polymyositis, dermatomyositis, which is a very debilitating autoimmune illness. And it threatened that dream of wanting to be a doctor that I had worked so hard to attain.
All right, pain?
Aye.
The whole stomach.
And the nurses placed IVs in me. They would go over the treatment plan and they would say, okay, we're doing this or that. And they would take that extra step just to explain it to me. And so I learned pathophysiology from myself.
So where did you have the blood pressure spike? On this side or that side?
I ended up completing medical school on time, thanks to my parents. And then residency came, and residency is tough for everyone. I did get sick at one point, and I had a program director tell me that I was not strong enough to be an emergency physician because I was just too medically ill. I used that discouragement to push me and to motivate me. Fast forward, I eventually became a program director just like this gentleman, and now I am one of the associate deans. So, you can never let someone tell you what you cannot do. There's a will and a way, and if you have faith, you can push through it. Spelman empowered me as a woman, as an African-American woman, to believe in myself and, really prepared me for the world outside of college. I'm from Westchester, White Plains, and I have to attribute my strong personality to the matriarchs in my family. If you wanted to be heard in my house, you had to speak up. And so they taught me that. And my father, always told me that I could do whatever I wanted to do because you're talented. I got here in 2011, and my intent, honestly, was to go back across the bridge. But when I got here, I fell in love with the people, the patients, and working alongside some of the most dedicated physicians who were so smart and yet so humble, and I fell in love with the place ever since. In Central Brooklyn, our community is extremely diverse. They're coming largely from an immigrant patient population, which is wonderful because you feel like you're taking care of the world. They are socioeconomically diverse as well, and so they range in the economics and, again, the housing security. But, more than just being from an immigrant patient population, they are thankful. Sometimes you just can't get it through your patients that you are the doctor. I've gotten called tech, I often get called nurse, and I could be with the patient for hours. I could have done invasive exams, and they still say, okay, so when am I gonna see the real doctor? And that's always heartbreaking, but it's also an educational moment for me to teach the patients that whatever imagery they have in their head of what their doctor should look like, I have broken the mold, and I am what a doctor looks like, and that I am their doctor. I feel, and this might be in my head, a question of whether I'm competent or not. It might just be something that, because of all the microaggressions and discrimination that I've had to face to get to this point, that may not necessarily exist, because clearly there are people that believe in me and believe in my ability. You often doubt yourself because it's not like we have very many people in front of us to show us or be role models. And those of us who have made it this far, it is our responsibility to then be role models for others. I would was thankful enough to come from a family who was supportive, who made sure that I received the best education and who always encouraged me. Some people may not come from that kind of supportive environment. It is our job to go back to the elementary schools, to go back to the high schools, to go and talk to residents and tell them that they can do it too.